Intros are stupid.
What's up, YouTube? It's new knife day. I got a giant mouse here, obviously, as you can see. Yeah, I just want to start off by jumping right into it. So let's open up the box. Giant Mouse always packages their stuff really nice. I like the way they do it. Just like a plain box, nice bag inside with the knife inside. So this is the Biblio XL in titanium. So these scales are going to be really nice. So let's just get into the box. If we can, assuming it will let us, okay. Yep, as per usual, canvas bag, which is very nice. With their logo on it. Okay, and let's see here. Oh, very nice. It is, I don't have my scale with me, but it's got some heft to it. I'm pretty used to, I have a lot of aluminum scales on knives and they're just very light. Like for instance, here's a Demco 80-20.5. This weighs, excuse me for dropping the knife there. This weighs nothing. Aluminum is vastly lighter than titanium. I always kind of forget that. Aluminum's a lot cheaper, and so sometimes I end up picking the aluminum when I'm upgrading a knife. But anyway, let's get back to this thing. So this is the Biblio XL. Giant Mouse has a habit of making knives quite a bit smaller, but the Biblio, to my understanding, the original Biblio, is like one of their flagships. They have one knife, I think, that's a little bit bigger than this. If you guys know the name of that knife, drop it in the comments there, because I can't remember to save my life right now. I only have one other Giant Mouse knife, and I actually can't remember the name of this either right now. Green micarta, it's in Elmax steel. Similar knife, but with no flipper tab, and in canvas instead of titanium. But that's my only other Giant Mouse, but it's quite a bit smaller, as you can see there. Yeah, quite a bit smaller. So the Biblio XL, I can't, the original Biblio, I think came in micarta. I don't think there was a G10 version. I think it just was micarta or whatever. Exactly the same knife, just a little bit smaller. Not by a ton though. But let's get a length here. So we're looking at like 7.5 inches in length open, and pretty much exactly a 3-inch cutting blade, like a cutting edge. This knife feels excellent in your hand. The placement for the jimping is a little far forward. It would have been nice if it came maybe to like here or something, because my thumb naturally wants to sit here, so you kind of find myself extending it a bit. So far, this is just an open box. Look at it. I'll review this knife later, and I'm about to review a bunch of other knives that I never gave a full review for. I just did unboxing and first impressions. But the first impressions of this knife are excellent. I love the wire clip. The scales aren't just titanium, and they aren't just textured, but they're contoured. So this is probably one of the nicest knives I've ever gotten from the factory. I've changed scales and made some pretty cool knives amazing by changing up the scales and everything, but from the factory, I think this is the nicest knife. Oh, I didn't even mention it has a brass back spacer. If you take a look, it's actually a really nice contrast on the knife. So like titanium everywhere, and then that brass back spacer. It just looks really nice, the contrast there. It's very cool. I don't think I even touched the blade steel. So the blade steel on this is Vanadis. I don't know anything about it. aside from that it's not completely stainless, in that rust is an issue with this steel, but the blade steel itself in many other ways is quite awesome. I don't know enough about it to really talk much about it, but maybe you guys can drop in the comments some maybe like the composition of Vanadis, because I don't know anything about it, and I don't want to say anything that I'm wrong about. But the knife really does feel good in your hand. It's a great size. It's so much nicer to just have that little bit extra length and width and everything, as opposed to this knife here that I can't remember the name of. Actually just looked it up on my phone, but that's what I'm using to film this right now, so I can't really back out of the camera. But I'll drop it in the comments, the name of that one. Anyway, this knife, first impressions, you know, open box first impressions, this is pretty fantastic. Love the weight. The scales are brilliant, and love the contrast of the brass back spacer. It's just a fantastic knife. I think this is one of my favorite additions to the collection. This is going to get a lot of pocket time, so I should have a lot to say in the final review when I get to it. But I thought you guys would want to take a look at this knife. It's very beautiful. Love the blade shape. Very smooth drop shut. It's just a fantastic knife so far. I can't say anything really negative about it, except I would have liked to see a little bit more jimping, but I can see maybe why they didn't want to do that. It's very thin in this hole, like in the cutout on the blade, so maybe that would have been a bad idea. But yeah, that's probably the only negative thing that I can say about this thing. This is a gorgeous, beautiful knife with fantastic ergonomics, guys. Go check it out. Anyway, that's all for now. Take care and stay sharp.